What's up, Cigar Club family? Welcome back to another episode of the Cigar Club podcast. I'm Pugh, and along with me, as always, is Griff Howie. Thank you so much all for tuning in and listening every week, as well as leaving your thoughts and feedback on each episode. I know Griff particularly loves reading those. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the first episode of 2023, so you picked a great time to start listening. We are dropping a podcast every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. On today's episode, we are going to be revealing the Cigar Club Family's top 10 cigars of 2022, rated by you all. These are all of the ratings that you leave on your each month from the cigars that you receive in your box. So that's a reminder for 2023. Be sure to rate those cigars. Like I said, we do look at all of that, and this is probably one of my favorite episodes each year, is just seeing where the cigars rank up that we sent you.
Yeah.
But before we jump into it, Griff, what are you kicking season 3 off with? What cigar are you smoking? What are you drinking? How you doing? How was your New Year's? Give me the rundown of the last month of your life.
It's a lot of questions. I will start with, we are, I think, both smoking the same thing. I can't necessarily see.
Yep.
I think that's what it is. We are kicking the season 3 off the new year with the one and only La Palina Goldie. Laguido number... Dos. Initial impressions, for as expensive as this box and cigar is, the band is quite high. You know, when I put a cigar in my mouth, I put it in my mouth. And I'm going to have to smoke this one a little bit different because... Is yours high?
Yeah, I've actually never noticed that.
Yeah,
it's certainly higher up towards the head of the end of the cigar, depending on...
I mean, I would definitely be
normally
covering
associated with it.
half of the band with my mouth if this was a normal cigar. So, interesting observation, number one. Number two, It's just an interesting roll. These are obviously made at El Titan in Miami, which is amazing. And I've heard phenomenal things about this cigar. But I have to say the roll is not the most perfect roll I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, mine's flawless.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Super tight, beautiful fantail on it. I think this was the first cigar that I smoked that had, if memory serves, a fantail on it, and always is the epitome. When I think of a fantail, it's always the La Palina Goldie as far as like the standard of how beautiful it is.
Sucks cutting it off, but so I cut the fantail off. Roll is subpar, and it's a hair squishy, so maybe this could just be a one-off, but I didn't look at the box fully. Actually, I could do that right now. It's right here.
The box is have you noticed a little small thing? I've never had a box of Goldies before until now. The clasp on it, just something little detail like that, just takes it up a little bit more in the insert.
This appears maybe that it could be a one-off. The middle cigar, the wrapper is pretty rough looking, but this could be just a one-off roll. But anyway, excited to kick off the season with this cigar, and first cigar of the year for me, and first drink. Well, bourbon, that is. I don't know. I thought 93 proof was going to be a good proof point for this cigar.
Yeah, I think so. I would go 90 to 100. Don't want to go anything too much.
I was going to grab Henry McKenna, but I grabbed just a store pick, Buffalo Trace from Pensacola, and give it a whirl.
I think that'll be really, really good. I'm smoking the same thing. Little breakdown of the cigar. It is a 6x38 Petite Lancero, as Griff said, rolled at El Titan de Bronze in Miami, Florida. It's an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Ecuadorian binder, and Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. And I think it's a great cigar to kick off 2023 with. I, like you, haven't smoked really too much over the last month. Been sick with a sinus infection. You had a little illness go through you as well. And just haven't been up to smoking. So this is going to be fresh as a fresh palate could get.
I think
it's a great cigar to kick it off with.
The Rona hit all four of us, my in-laws and my wife, and we got it at the same time last year too, which is weird. So last year. Did not smoke. Smoked a couple puffs of a cigar. I don't know, like the 19th or something. But since then, haven't had anything. So excited to smoke this. Excited to talk about the cigars that the fine folks of Cigar Club rated.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a cigar New Year's Eve, but it was like a quarter of a cigar. I don't think I really tasted it, but I just wanted to smoke a cigar. One last cigar of 2022. And I'm just going with something simple here. just a little plain seltzer. Didn't want to, I don't know, not really up to drinking. And I wanted the cigar to really shine and clear up maybe my sinuses here.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be drinking, nor should I. I was a little hesitant to smoke, but I'm like, well, it's not going to cure itself, so might as well expedite the process with a cigar.
Exactly. Get it out of your system. But before we jump into the top 10, your top 10 of 2022, if you haven't already purchased your 5-pack, our Casa Cuevas exclusive is live on the site. We've got those in 5-packs. So if you've already smoked it in your box, or maybe you didn't have it in your box and you want to try something a little bit more medium plus or full-bodied, those are available for you. And if you use the code podcast, you're going to be able to get 20% off your order. So let's jump into it. I'm really curious to see. Ramsey's going to be pulling these up. He did all the background research, so Griff and I have no idea what's going to be popping up on screen. So let's see it. Ramsey, give us number 10 of 2022. Oh, just kidding. We're giving our predictions. Sorry, can't read.
Our predictions.
Our predictions. God. What do I think will be number 1?
Shit. I didn't come prepared with my predictions.
I think I know. I think my prediction.
Is this number 1 or number 10?
No. We're predicting just what we think the number 1 cigar that we shipped out in 2022 is. I think it'll be the Bocock Signature Edition.
I think it's going to be Pinky's Out.
Yeah, that's always a super popular one. That's a good point. All right, here we go. From the top, number 10.
No more working, just reactions now.
Here we are. Coming in at number 10, Sereno Taino Heritage 44.
This was an interesting cigar for me. I can't say I really liked this cigar.
When was the last time you smoked it?
Well, I'd have to go back in my phone, but this is basically the Dominican version of the Taino, which I loved.
Correct. Yeah.
And I was expecting, honestly, like a beefier, maybe a little bit more spicy, maybe a little bit more bold Taino, because Taino is super mild for me. And it just wasn't there. I need to resmoke it for sure because I was excited for it. I had high expectations, but it didn't excite me too much. Personal thoughts here.
I would challenge you now that you've gotten, and maybe this is all just completely made up, but I feel like you've gotten more into Dominican cigars and started to explore the Dominican Republic maybe a little bit more in 2022. So I'd be very curious to see if you still felt that way revisiting this cigar. Because I enjoyed, full disclosure, I enjoyed the original Taino better. The 44 that we did in that cigar size 2021 was probably one of my Desert Island cigars, and I think it was my Desert Island cigar of 2021. So did this cigar come as good as that one to me? No, but I enjoyed it for what it's worth and kind of the subtle or maybe even major differences that it had from the original. But I want to see, have you revisit that one, because I think you would like it a lot more now than maybe you originally did. But maybe not, right? I mean, not every cigar's for everyone, so there's nothing wrong with knowing what you like and knowing what you don't like. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. That was a cigar I'd have to go back and we haven't shipped that one in maybe early 2022, maybe.
We had I think I just lit my hat on fire.
March,
we've kind of had that throughout the last several months, middle of the year as well.
Well, there you have it. I also
Good start, great start.
Spoiler alert, I also have a brand new segment that I'm going to bring to Season 3 that I'll maybe launch here in a couple minutes that no one knows about. So
I'm excited. Griff, all the times that you didn't pre-read, you're coming forth with a little bit of pre-homework done with the new segment.
Yeah, it's a spur-of-the-moment thing. I thought about it about 19 seconds ago. So
good job.
We're gonna bring it full season.
Well, here we go. Let's see. Number 9.
Ooh.
Coming off with an exclusive already. This will be the Casa Cuevas Patrimonio exclusive that we did. Love to see it on there. Really, really good. I enjoyed the
Robusto.
Flacco better.
Oh,
However,
yes, correct.
And not to shit on our own exclusive, the Flacco was just another dimension of special and good. This was one of the first Casa Cuevas cigars that I actually smoked, surprisingly. If you can believe that.
I love Casa Cuevas. But there's something. Sorry, Alec. There's something about the blends in the Flaco size that. Did I get disconnected? Oh no, I'm here.
No,
Sorry.
you're still there.
There's something about the specific blends, Flaco, the Maduro, in the Flaco size that are right up my alley. Flaco Maduro is probably my favorite Casa Cuevas cigar.
I think the Flaco size is literally the best Vitola for all of their cigars that they carried in. So it's almost cheating to say I enjoyed the Flaco more than I did the Patrimonio. It still, I mean, the size that we shipped it in was not my favorite. And I've said this before on another podcast too, and what's her face gave me a hard time for at PCA for saying it, but it wasn't my favorite blend. But the Flaco size made it my favorite blend, so I need to go back. I don't know if I have any, or even if we have any more of these, because I haven't revisited it. I smoked it when we were down in Mobile for the first time, and I smoked a couple more after that, but I hadn't smoked it since we smoked the Flaco, so I'd be curious if I have any more to go back and sort of like with the Taino heritage for you, to see if it's changed at all for me. But it was a great introduction to Casa Cuevas. I've smoked everything in their lineup now, so it was a good introduction for me, and loved seeing them coming in at number 9, and loved seeing an exclusive that we've carried coming in at number 9 as well. Yeah,
love Casa Cuevas. How's the Goldie performing?
Perfect. It's a little windy, so the burn line is a little janky. We had some tornadoes. Well, we didn't have any tornadoes. We had some really severe weather come through last night, so it's still reminiscing, lingering around a little bit. How about you?
Yeah, it's the burn is not great, but overall it's solid.
Now, this is your first time smoking it.
Yeah.
How are the flavors for you?
There's not a whole lot going on for me.
COVID as well.
It's straight medium. If that, probably straight mild, honestly. The bourbon goes fine with it. Nothing insane to me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's maybe a mild plus. I think if memory serves, and it's been probably 4 or 5 years since I smoked it, it starts to ramp up towards that slightly medium, never really over a slight medium. But
beautiful cigar. But
I think Buffalo Trace, little did you know, was a perfect pick for this cigar.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, let's bring it in. Number 8, what do we got? Griff, I'll let you. Can you see this one?
Yep.
What do we got?
Great. The Crown Heads Le Patissier number 50. That's a very good cigar. I really, really enjoy that cigar. Brand new to the Crown Heads lineup within the past couple months.
Yep.
Beautiful band. The size is great. Dark chocolate, rich, medium plus.
Yep.
Very, very good cigar. Probably in my top 3 or 4 of Crown Heads in their portfolio.
Yeah, that cigar, it's almost like it was custom made for you. I love that size, and I would almost venture to say, like, I don't want to smoke it in any other size. Like, it's... Yeah. I couldn't imagine that in any other Vitola. That was one of the cigars that we locked in at PCA last year, for 2022. And so that alone makes it kind of a special experience for me. And I would say, I'm trying to rack my brain, but I would think that's probably my favorite release by Crown Heads in 2022. I would put that over the Las Calaveras that they released. And I'm trying to think what other... They had a couple other releases, if memory serves, different sizes of maybe existing lines. But I think that was my favorite from Crown Heads out of last year.
Yeah, I would have liked to smoke Azul Oro to compare it to last year. I still have a couple to smoke this year, maybe this month. But
you're right. I did forget about that release. I think I would put that slightly ahead of this one just because the profile was a little bit more to my liking.
Yeah.
And then I think Le Patissier would be right behind it. Yeah, thank you. I forgot about that one.
3 solid brands.
That, by the way.
3 solid brands for sure.
Yep. Great.
Number 7. Interesting.
Right. Cavalier Jalapa Robusto. This was
more of a recent cigar.
Yeah, I think this was mid-year, and then some smatterings thereafter. If we didn't have it in your box, so I think most people have probably smoked this cigar by now. I remember it being really good, but I've only smoked it once. And I hate that because I really enjoyed it, and I have a couple more of them. But let me pull up. I think it's all... Is it all Jalapa?
I was expecting for me to love this cigar, and did not hit my palate. Again, only smoked it once. Yep, only smoked it once, and it was not for me. I need to smoke it again for sure, but I was really had super high expectations. The White series, Cavalier White, I really do enjoy. It's been a minute since I've smoked it. The Jalapa profile to me, I was like, okay, this is going to be the Cavalier cigar for me.
Yeah,
and it could have been a one-off, but it didn't do it.
This was a cigar I remember smoking prior to it being released and prior to us getting in boxes, kind of seeing, would we like this? Who would like this? And I loved it. It's a Nicaraguan Jalapa wrapper with Nicaraguan Habano binder and filler. And I remember being blown away by it, but then I never revisited after. Like I said, I still have maybe 2 or 3 sitting in the humidor, but it was one of those that I loved it, and I don't know why I never went back to re-smoke it again, because I really enjoyed it. I think Jalapa is probably one of my, if not my favorite growing region in Nicaragua. It always lends itself to this lovely sweetness in a cigar, which certainly comes through in this blend as well. But not shocked to see it at number 7. But I wouldn't have thought it would have made the list just because I didn't remember it, because I've only smoked it once. And that's the worst part, is knowing that you enjoy it, but never being able to get back to it. Griff, are we here? I see you on your phone.
No. I'm preparing for the segment I'm about to release.
My bad. He's gearing up, folks. Well, I won't hold you back.
This is a segment that I'm going to start doing every single episode to provide some love to some of my favorite comments on these podcast videos.
Boy.
I would really love in the comments to actually, for someone to help me find the name of this segment. Ramsey doesn't know about this, Pugh doesn't know about it, but I'm thinking it's something like Griff's top comments, Griff's favorite comments. Some of these comments are just comical. And also some of these people they should be embarrassed for what they type and publish. But beside the case, Pugh and I are not experts here, folks. We don't claim to be experts, and we are simply giving you my personal thoughts, his personal thoughts, and having a discussion. We're not sitting on this high pedestal of knowledge. I don't know jack shit when it comes to cigars compared to some of these people in the industry. That should be plain and front and centered and noticed by all. I don't claim it. Pugh doesn't claim it, et cetera, et cetera. So I would just like to highlight some of the comments that I thought were just really great, solid comments.
Good and bad, hopefully.
That, and these are also folks that I've never heard of. So appreciate you watching the first video. It's so interesting. This video, so this segment will be on our last podcast, which was the Cigar Aficionado top 10 list or whatever, how many we did.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get roasted on that one.
That video always draws in some clowns. So I'm going to simply just read some of the comments. This will take a couple minutes and, show some appreciation and call out some of these folks that left us a comment, which we appreciate, and YouTube does as well. The first one, it was yesterday. Andre Beauchamp. This is a solid, worthless video. And I commented, thanks, Andre. Appreciate the comment. Robert Caldwell. Ooh, this is exciting. I haven't read this one. Robert Caldwell. I think the best list is the Half Wheel Consensus Top 25. It's an average of cigars reviewed from 45 different lists from media, YouTube, and the internet reviewers. Great video. I agree Cigar Aficionado list is ridiculous, overrated, and very mundane. Well, there you have it, folks, from Caldwell.
Is that the Robert Caldwell?
Well, actually, it's Clewell. Clewell.
Oh, okay.
So I read it wrong. Not Robert.
Yeah, I think the Half Wheel, I don't know if they've done theirs for 2022 yet, but I think they're probably one of the ones that I trust the most.
Here's another exciting comment. A lazy 2022 list, just saying. I would agree. Oh, Gary, this was my favorite. Gary Smith Jr. So we can explicit this, and Ramsey will, so I'm going to read it verbatim. Yeah, and this guy's grammar is quite horrific. To hear dude just be a total dick about everything is f***ing irritating as f***. Now I get some of the same exact cigars. Being CA top 10 every year is crazy too. Doesn't make sense. But to get mad because they made a box of 23, bruh, who gives a that much? If that's what they want to do, it's their product. This motherfucker act like he don't ever get no pussy.
Wow.
Very nice comment, Gary Smith Jr. Really appreciate you. And I replied, thanks for watching, Brother Gary. That's just, I mean, again.
I don't have much time. I don't have enough time on my hands to be an internet troll.
We are not the experts here. This is my reaction, and that's Pugh's reaction. And I personally don't like the Cigar Aficionado list, so that's that. Nice video. Just subscribe. Thank you, Daver Counting Cigars. Oh, here's one from Sun Zoo, TZU. Griff doesn't like Padron or Fuente, but says the Alec Bradley Market Esteli is a breath of fresh air. Lost all credibility right there. Well, I hate that I lost your credibility because that's going to make me stay up tonight. But you also took it out of context. I said seeing an Alec Bradley on the list was a breath of fresh air, since it's historically speaking all Padron, all Fuente, all Cubans.
The one thing I noticed after this list was released, I was on Reddit, Instagram. It really does seem, though, that maybe, and it's obviously the vocal community tends to be not necessarily the negative community, but those that have issues usually go on to comment about those issues. But I was seeing a lot of people just be tired of CA's top 25, top 10. So that was reassuring.
So Sun Tzu got a comment or a reply by Jay. Facts. Dude is so smug, he dismisses Fuente and Padron being top 10, but are okay with the AB black market, where a fucking RP and a 60 ring gauge, spelled wrong, being number 2, even finding it to be a relief. Clown shit. And then another guy jumped right in too.
Hit me with the positive one.
Well, this is just a reply from Nathan, same comment. Haha, right, LOL. Have yet to get a black market without draw or burn issue. Also doesn't smoke my father, WTF. Yeah, I don't, my father isn't for me. So, my dad, though, is. But my father, cigars, not me, but that's okay. It's not for everybody.
I did post that episode we shot. I did go back and smoke black market again. Smoked it outside of a campfire, and glad I did. I really want to smoke the Esteli version now. But it was much better than my initial impressions probably 4 or 5 years ago. And so that was really nice to see.
So I'll throw in just two comments, two positives, rather. And then this will end my segment of highlighting some of these guys. But, this is actually an interesting one. It's not positive or negative, but I did not know this. Ruben Verdugo, sophisticated hooker is of reference to a fishing boat. That's how they can get away with it. You should have said that on your video so people would understand. I'm sorry, Ruben, I did not know that.
That's great to know. I wonder if there's something to Pussy Juice as well, or maybe not, since that one's not really a release and you can only get it at the factory.
I'm having a hard time finding something in other context of Pussy Juice.
Yeah, no, neither can I. But maybe that's why it's not an actual official released cigar.
Let's see.
That's great to know,
and let's bring it home, Sam Hopkins. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really am enjoying the black market. I also enjoy that Romeo that's on there, which I smoked both of those cigars years ago. But like they said, with all the new cigars that have been coming out lately, it's so unrealistic to think that none of these new cigar makers are getting any love. CA Top 25, not credible. So there you have it, folks. There's Griff's top comments. And I don't even want to dive into the world of TikTok because it's probably 10 times worse. But I just wanted to highlight some of the fine folks that hop on our YouTube video and show some love to me. So I'd like to show some love back.
Well, I do say, taking a look here, it looks like Half Wheel, as the time of recording this, has not released their top 25. Of 2022. It looks like they tend to release it around January 20th, 22nd. So we should do a recap of their top 25.
Yeah.
I would expect us to be a little bit more excited for what they release.
It'll be 10 times more exciting.
More than likely. But yeah, for anyone listening, we don't claim to be experts. I like to think that I'm a student of the leaf, or just student in the tobacco world. There's so much to know, so much to learn that you can't learn everything in a lifetime. These are always just our opinions, and life's too short. There's certainly always going to be internet trolls out there, and you can usually tell when there's good feedback, even if it is negative. and versus those who are trolling. But hey, if you're trolling, that means you're listening. So thanks for tuning in.
No, it helps the equation for sure. Appreciate
getting Griff fired up in the comments. I just gloss over the trolls. They're not worth my time.
Oh, I gloss over them too. I just think this is a good season to showcase some of them.
As long as you give in some positives in there.
Oh, I'll always have positives. But I'm
David's looking great. The hat fits tight. Griff, we love your spot.
No, I'm going to have some negatives in there for sure. It's people just on a day-to-day basis, even in like the grocery store, just amaze me. It's just crazy.
That's why I don't leave the house.
Yeah, well, you don't because you don't drive. But anyway, that's Griff's top comments for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we're going to continue with the podcast now.
We'll do the giveaway, and we'll rehash it at the end. The giveaway, we'll have people submit their best names for this segment. All right, coming in at number 6. Love seeing it. Alec Bradley, Magic Toast in Robusto. This one, I was nervous about. We have shipped it in the past, certainly. But I kind of pushed the boundaries with this cigar and included this cigar, or we both did, in people that maybe weren't traditionally, they didn't smoke full-bodied Maduros. This cigar is certainly not full-bodied, but I tried to push this cigar, introduce this cigar to people that maybe would turn away from a darker wrapper. Because once you light this cigar up and you get into it, you can clearly tell this is not a full-bodied cigar.
No.
And so I was nervous on that, but we had great reception to it for those that did receive it in their box. And I'm really glad to see this at number 6 because we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
This cigar is a game changer for anyone who doesn't necessarily like or thinks they may not enjoy a darker wrapper on a cigar.
Yeah, I think out of all Alec Bradley cigars, this is probably the one we talk about the most. Mm-hmm. I think. It's one we love, of course, and we always talk about obviously how dark it is, but it is just a damn good, creamy, beautiful. I love smoking that cigar at nighttime with the fire. I don't know why it's so weird, but it's the band, the dark purple. It's just, I don't know. It's the nighttime fire pit.
It's so funny you say that because when I picked up the black market, I was at a local humidor. I didn't bring cigars with me, and they're like, "Let's do a bonfire." And I was like, "Well, I got to go get a cigar." So I went out and I was grabbing Magic Toast, but because of what you said about smoking black marketing, and I grabbed that because I think you're spot on. That cigar with a glass of bourbon next to a fire, game changer.
Yeah, I don't know why I get that vibe. I just do. But it's a cigar that I need to go smoke again because it's been. I mean, all of these cigars, it's been, other than Le Patissier, it's been probably 5+ months. Yeah. It's so hard to circle back and try things that you love just because there's so many new cigars coming out and time goes by so quick. But I love Magic Toast. It's awesome to see that is number 6.
Yeah, first world problems when there's too many new cigars to smoke or too many cigars that you need to try to be able to go back and re-smoke some of your favorites.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure people were so sad for us.
Yes, very, I can tell. All right, well, great list so far. Love it.
Ooh, there it is.
You want to take that one?
It doesn't surprise me. Sereno, Wayfarer, Corona Gorda, specifically that size is, for me, I love a Corona Gorda. Another cigar, probably, if we're talking about the portfolio of Sereno, we talk about Wayfarer probably just as much as we do Magic Toast. It's classic. The branding is the newer age cigar smoker branding, like if that even makes sense to me, at least. We had a buddy reach out. He's like, I got my daughter's getting married. Need a couple boxes of cigars. What do you recommend? And first on the list was a box of Wayfarer because number one, they're just gorgeous sitting in a box. But number two, any cigar smoker or not, very approachable. Medium plus at max. Great nuances. Just a very solid cigar. It's Carson just killed that cigar.
Yeah, I agree. If I had to make a guess, I think this is probably the cigar in all the Vitolas that I've smoked more in my life than anything else. Multiple boxes. I've given out more cigars than I've probably smoked. I've probably purchased probably 5 or 6 boxes of these, and I think maybe I've smoked actually 2 of them myself. It's a cigar that if I'm going to an event, going to a place where I think other people may smoke, there's going to be 1 or 2 Wayfarers in there because it's such an easily approachable cigar.
Yeah.
Distinguishable notes. I love the graham cracker that I can always pick out in it. And usually most people, I'm like, hey, smoke this cigar. Think graham cracker when you're smoking it. And most people are going to be able to, maybe through the power of suggestion, most people are like, oh, I don't smoke cigars, or maybe I don't pick out flavors too well, but I can see what you're saying by graham cracker. And so I love seeing on that. No surprise that it's in the top 10. This will always be a cigar that I think at some point each year we're probably going to have in some boxes because it's too good, and most people are going to be excited to revisit this at least once a year. So I love seeing it.
We actually should bring it back within the next couple of months, just because people would love it, and it's just a great cigar.
And it's about to be, well, depending on where you're at, we're starting to get, at least here in the South, it's 70 degrees right now, starting to be back into primetime smoking seasons. I get about 2 weeks of winter.
I think it's unseasonably hot right now for everybody. I mean, my in-laws are in D.C. right now. They said it was like close to 70 degrees up there today. I'm like, damn, it's a little chillier down here than up there. So who knows? But when we were there over Christmas, it was 6, 7, 8 degrees. And
I got down into it was like
cold.
0 degrees with the wind chill. It was like single digits a couple days. I actually had the first cold Christmas that I can remember in a long time. So was great to see.
We weren't here to really do anything with the pipes and stuff. So I'm like, well, brace for impact. This could be an interesting coming back home to this. So, and I saw on the camera in the back that the pond froze over a little bit, but the fountain was still going. So
Koi's good.
Little koi sickles. Yeah, they're all good. They were down there just, laying low, I suppose. So.
What a life. Well, I'm loving this top 5. Little update on the cigar. I did just have my first go out, so I'm going to do a little
I just relit it about 10
retouch.
minutes ago.
But you haven't filled yours up because you're needing butane. But this thing, this new tabletop lighter, she's got a flame to her.
Yeah. The tabletop lighter was on our top gift list, if you will, and I need to get butane for mine. But highly recommend. It's heavy. It's girthy. It's a beautiful lighter.
I came when mine came. I think it was pretty much cranked. So yours may not be cranked, but adjust the flame. There's a little flathead at the bottom that you can use with a little wrench and turn it down. If you want a huge flame, more power to you, but I would maybe dial it back a little bit, maybe halfway, so it doesn't take your face off when you light it. Because it was a good 6-inch flame.
Yeah, flamethrower.
All right, let's get into this top 5 of 2022 rated by you, Cigar Club Family. Coming in at number 4.
Oh, wow.
Griff, I'm going to let you take this one.
Oh, no more. I don't want to see any more. Fantastic cigar, number 4, Aganorsa Guardian of the Farm Ranger Cigar Club exclusive. We've talked about this. Again, it's funny, we're all massive fans of Aganorsa. You can find Aganorsa in a lot of different brands, but their core line, obviously, they've got Guardian of the Farm. We did exclusive size with them called Ranger, and we've talked about this cigar multiple times, have videos about it. Soft box press, awesome spice, straight medium plus. This is a cigar I know I can grab anytime, always consistent, and have the same experience every single time.
Yeah. I mean, incredible story, and I think
it was a
all
fun
my
project.
favorite brands or shops tend to have something. Well, I take that back. I think it's just I think Warped and Small Batch both have Guardian of the Farm exclusives. I don't know if any other brand does. However, every single Guardian of the Farm release has been phenomenal. I love it, and Ranger is no different. And spoiler alert, depending on when this drops, we're bringing it back this year. And by this year, I mean January and February. We've had a production of these set aside to age for over a year, so it will be it will be a year since their launch
it's gonna be
in 2022. And this was fun. I wanted to set aside some to see, or to allow everyone to see, just what a year's worth of extra aging does to a cigar.
Yeah.
So these have been aged in perfect humidity, and so those are going to be coming in your boxes January, February. March, throughout the rest of the year, just to really see if you've got an original production.
Yeah.
Well, these are original productions, but if you smoked it before, you're going to notice some changes to it. Probably a little more subdued, probably coming in closer to medium. I found when I've smoked previous versions of the Guardian of the Farm that they do age really well.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to set some aside and revisit it a year later. So I'm really excited to see everyone's feedback for when we launch these cigars later this month.
I'll take a picture of that because my wife will be excited to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Number 4, baby. That's strong.
Mm-hmm.
There are actually, no BS, there are a few boxes left on the website as well. So,
yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but we do have some remaining from those initial boxes.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 3, top 3.
Ooh.
Great to see it. Matilde limited exposure number 1 in Robusto, coming out of La Isla. We all know and love La Isla.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my dad the other day, and he was smoking Origin. He's like, how is this such a perfect construction? And I'm like, Ostos knows what he's doing. He has such a quality control first and understanding of blending tobacco, what tobaccos will combust well together. And it's no surprise to see a cigar from La Isla in the top 3. I really, really enjoyed this one. Enrique sent me over the sample of Limited Exposure 1 because he heard that I hadn't smoked it. We were talking. And he's like, bro, let me send you Limited Exposure 1. You're going to love it. He sent it to me. Came like a week later. I think he hand flew it himself and blown away. I immediately be like, yeah, we need these. People are going to love it. And no shock to see it here.
Yeah, he probably has the most colorful portfolio, when it comes to comparing different brands. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, we saw him at PCA and saw all the different boxes. It was like a damn rainbow. It's just beautiful, well done. The purples are awesome. The oranges, the greens, and
the Sereno
reds.
Blue is probably that turquoise blue. If I could have a wall of boxes, which would be a cool little project to do, I would certainly have every single one of his box tops just because they all stand out. I love the color palette that he chooses for his boxes, and we're certainly going to be having in 2023 some new cigars coming from Matilde, and stay tuned for those.
Yeah.
I mean, number 3.
It's been a great list. Ramsey, can you scroll up? We've got Matilde, Aganorsa, Sereno, Alec Bradley, Cavalier, Crown Heads. Okay, so Sereno's been twice. Awesome.
Yep.
I was wondering if it's been all different. Wow.
And I love the variety. We've got some classics in there, like the Magic Toast, the Wayfarer. We've got new releases like the Cavalier Jalapa, Le Patissier, Guardian of the Farm exclusives. We had the Patrimonial exclusive. I mean, I think this is a really good list of new releases, classics, exclusives, and limited editions like the Limited Exposure 1. I'm really curious to see.
I'm going to quickly scroll. I'm trying to think of brands that. So far, actually, I'm surprised. Warped or HVC. Yeah. I mean, if HVC Black Friday is,
I'm worried.
That was still, it was so new.
Yep, that's the issue. Some of these, you may not have been able to smoke yet because it's the winter. So there is some little discrepancy of certainly if a cigar we shipped the beginning of the year has a little bit more chance of be smoked or rated. So there is kind of a little caveat with that.
What's also interesting? Were any of these on our personal top 10s? I'm trying to think.
I don't
think so either. Ranger was not on mine, surprisingly.
But I think we talked about this on the show. Like if I smoked Ranger back the beginning of the year, and I think maybe a couple in Q2.
Yeah.
So it's not as on the forefront of my memory as some of these others. Whereas these are, you submit that rating, and we're going to be able to pull it back up at any time. So there's a little bit more. It's not as subjective.
Yeah, it's just been interesting. Like Warped Chinchale, that was early in the year, and that was. Yeah. Anyway, just an
one thing I've noticed. I want to jump back to the Goldie band. I wonder if the placement is higher up for branding, because here I am, down to the final third. Normally I would have taken the band off by now. So if I'm smoking this at a brick and mortar,
I don't know, maybe
the band's on still, someone may be able to see or in a photo or something like that, that band's going to stay on longer, or they'll take it off right away because it's closer to the head. But that's maybe what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's a good point. I've never thought of that. I just thought it was maybe a Goldie.
No, I went on half wheel, and all of the bands are
really
higher up towards the end of the cigar.
I gotta say, fine cigar. I'm not blown away by it. Not a whole lot of transitions, if any, to me. I was hoping for maybe some spice like in the middle here, but it's been consistent in terms of flavor, but it's just not the flavors that I love.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm enjoying it, and it to me screams El Titan. It's very reminiscent of El Titan and Bronze.
Yeah.
Any guesses on 2? I know you just kind of went through cigars that you hadn't seen yet, or maybe expected to see.
No, I would like to see something from H3C, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pan Caliente could be on there.
Yeah, or Hot Cake, or...
Yeah. I'd be very shocked if Signature Edition from Bocock Brothers was not 2 or 1. And honestly, I could see Pinky's Out being on there as well, like you said.
Well, let her rip, Ramsey.
Let's see number 2.
Ooh, wow. Finally a cigar that was on my list. Yeah, phenomenal cigar. Crownhead Suarez Shots. Said that this was the dog walking cigar for me. Super complex and rich and dense and heavy, and just a phenomenal Maduro. And the size is killer. And it's still, a pretty lengthy smoke, as we discussed, but that's up there in the top 4 for me as well, with Crownhead specifically.
I was going to say, do you enjoy your favorite cigar? La Carême is your favorite from Crownhead's.
It used to be. I brought several to Kentucky, and it was not doing it. The limited edition La Carême was amazing. I still have a box of them.
Bellicoso?
Do what?
Is it the Bellicoso, the limited edition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we brought Robustos maybe, and it just wasn't there, which was interesting. I don't know if they were like overly humidified or what, but
yeah.
That cigar and the branding on that cigar to me is just beautiful. But Horace Shots, it's
what I love about this cigar too, and there's not too many boxes that I could say this for. I love that they went with a 50 count box for these because the size really lends itself to being in that format without being overly large of a box.
Yeah.
I've talked about numerous times that I love a 10 count box because it's easier to commit to.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the one exception where I'm glad this wasn't a 25 or 20. I'm glad they went with a 50 count box for this because it's one of those, you buy a 10, you're like,
yeah,
I need more of these because they're a shorter smoke, 30, 45 minutes if you're a really slow smoker.
Yeah.
Great wintertime cigar, great summertime cigar when, temperature extremes. So I'm really glad that they did that in a 50 count.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Great cigar. It's exciting to see that.
Neither of our predictions have come true, so one of us could be correct here. Ramsey, bring us home. What is the number 1 cigar that the Cigar Club family rated for 2022? Griff Howie wins. Tell him what it is.
I mean, it makes
Everyone
sense.
wins here.
The Alec Bradley, Pinky's Out, Lancero.
Number 1.
It's I think this project, this annual release is probably I don't know, you guys tell us, but if I had to guess, it's probably the most anticipated release because it's always a different size, and the sizes do vary quite extensively. They're not just a tweak and a quarter of an inch or a ring gauge here, but in full transparency, the Lancero, I liked last year's size better than the Lancero. It was more compact and packed a punch that I'd prefer.
Yeah,
more
that
so
makes
than
sense.
Lancero. I've spoken Lancero a couple times now. Great size in the blend, but to me the last year's, well, not last year because last year was Lancero, but
2021,
the year before, if you will,
Yeah.
was my favorite size.
And it makes sense. You want something a little bit punchier, a little bit more condensed, where I enjoy this better than 2021 because I enjoyed that kind of stretching out, and it sat more medium for me. It was a little bit creamier. The spice was subdued a little bit because of that Lancero Vitola. And I don't think it was necessarily a risk, but there are certain people that maybe don't smoke Lanceros as often. And so it was certainly something that we discussed when thinking about this size was, is this going to be something that the majority of people will enjoy?
Yeah.
And it's great to see that it landed and landed really well for it to hit the #1 rated cigar of the year as voted by y'all. That's great to see. And it makes 2023 blend all the more exciting to focus on. I think we've got a couple sizes landed.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on some production of that to be able to smoke through. So here in January, we're already started blending and thinking of pinkies out for 2023. We got to keep it great, and it's really cool to see.
Pinkies out this year could be quite the size difference.
I agree, and I think depending on how it smokes, I know the size that I want in it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it turns out as good as I think it could.
This could be the most size extensive differentiator, if that even makes sense. So anyway, you can figure it out. That's awesome. I love
That's
to see
great
it.
to see. What a strong top 10. I'm not disappointed to not see Signature Edition on there, but I would bet if we expanded this a little bit more, it would be close to that top 10.
In Signature Edition, I don't think is for everyone. I mean, all of these cigars are, in my opinion, very approachable by anybody in their cigar smoking experience. I mean, Horace Shots maybe. Can you scroll up, Ramsey, just quickly so I can just quickly grab all of them? I mean, Horace Shots.
I think you
may be the most full-bodied cigar on the list. I mean, Jalapa's got some spice for sure. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Juarez is probably the most full-bodied cigar on this list, and Signature. Bocock Signature is a little bit more full-bodied than that. So it's a phenomenal cigar if you love that strength and that profile. But if you don't, I mean, you probably rate it a 1, I would think. So
that's a good call-out.
It could have been a little bit too
full-bodied for some people. Griff dropping knowledge facts and being, oh my God, what has 2023 brought to you?
Yeah, well, new year, new me, I suppose.
Who dis? What a strong top 10.
That's great.
Alongside our favorite top 10s, this is one that I look forward to each year, and great to see. Really excited, and it just goes to show that we do look at those ratings. We use that feedback. So if you don't rate your cigars, please, if you've got the time or if that's something that you enjoy doing, I certainly know that not everyone enjoys it, but be sure to leave your ratings on it, and you've got the ability to influence the top 10 for 2023 and cigars that end up in your boxes ultimately.
Awesome. Well, next on the list of to-dos, I see question of the show from Unknown. Thank you, Unknown. What do you think of celebrity cigars? Which are your faves, if you have any?
Don't see it on the screen. Let me pull down. There it is.
I don't have any.
You don't?
My initial thoughts, they're fun. I don't really honestly know what goes into them. How detailed do they get in picking the blend, or are they sent 2 random samples and they pick from one of those, or I don't know.
I will comment. I haven't smoked too many. I smoked Carmelones, I believe. I haven't smoked Ray Rices. I haven't smoked, I think, the Chicago Coach. Ramsey, you're going to roast me for not remembering his name off the top of my head. He has one, but the one that I smoked most recently was the Don Patron by 85 Cigars, which is Chad Ochocinco's brand, and was blown away. I really, really enjoyed that cigar. Certainly one that I'm going to potentially we'll potentially get in boxes in 2023 as Tiago Splitter has one. That one's really good. I think you'd probably say it if you had to choose one. I think it's probably at least one that I know you smoked. That one's really, really good. But the most recent one's definitely going to be my favorite, which will be the Don Patron.
Yeah.
I want to smoke Jay Cutler's. It's hella expensive. I think it's like $25, $30 a cigar. I'm not going to go out of my way to get it, but I'm really curious to see. I think that's, at least as far as I'm aware, the highest MSRP celebrity cigar.
I would definitely smoke them if I had them, but it's just I don't have much knowledge in that area or space. I'm not the biggest sports fan on the face of the earth, so I don't know a whole lot about them. So
yeah.
Allegedly, we'll do an episode on that this year, is what Ramsey's saying. So
look at that. There we go.
Yippee. Well,
he's excited, folks. That's about as excited as Griff gets.
Very.
Well, wonderful show. Let's do a giveaway. The question is going to be Name Griff's segment.
Cover myself up.
It's okay. Let her out. So in the comments below, first, you know the deal. Like the bell, subscribe to the channel, like it, and let us know in the comments below the name or what you think the name of Griff's 2023 segment is going to be, and we'll select our favorite from the comments below. And I think off the top of my head, we should have most of these cigars from the top 10 of 2022. So we'll do all of the cigars that we have. It may be 10, it may be 5, but whatever it may be from the winner, we'll send you as many of the top 10 as we can. And I think that'll be really cool. I think, like I said, memory serves, we should have majority of these. Goldie, I'm thinking the band's there for a reason because it's still on and I'm about to be done.
That's a good point. I've never thought of it that way. So you could be onto something. We'll have to ask Patrick.
The final puff.
We'll have to ask Patrick.
Thanks for joining us for the start of 2023. We're going to be doing some exciting things this year. It's the beginning of the year, but the work has already begun. No time off for us. I'm certainly going to be looking on bringing in some guests. The next one that we're going to be shooting is going to be our first guest of the year.
Two guests.
And it's going to be exciting, starting off the year with a bang. And, for me, the Goldie, great start to the first cigar of 2023.
And I'm going to really try, and I already did, and I say this every year, but I lose track. I'm going to try to document all the cigars I smoked this year.
I got to pull it out of the ashtray because guess what?
And I would recommend you guys do the same. Snap a picture of it because it is cool to go back and see. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot I smoked that. I really liked it. Go back and grab another one.
Yep.
So, and if you have an iPhone, you can just literally search cigars on your iPhone, and it'll show all the cigars that you smoked. Which is why iPhone slams on whatever the other one is.
Well, I haven't tried it, so maybe it'll work for me.
Probably not, though.
Probably not, though. But
those green bubble phones.
Well, we'll let that go. But anyway, folks, thanks again for joining us. Until next time, happy smoking.
Cheers.